Hello there, you are welcome to this video, and I'm going to show you something really exciting and something you wish you had seen. Alright, I'm going to show you how to manipulate backgrounds for your designs in Pixellab. I'm going to come up with stunning backgrounds that you yourself will be shocked. Alright, let's get into the video. Before we start, if you have not subscribed to the channel, this is the best time to do that. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, share this video to others so they can also benefit. Share the channel, add value to the channel by doing that. All is for free. All right, let's get into the video. So now if you open your Pixellab, I've already set the background to white, and then we are going to start the manipulation of the background using several tricks. Now the first trick I'm going to show you is how you can use gradient transparency to blend your images together to make up your background. All right, how do we do that? So you click the plus sign. Okay, when you click the plus sign, click from gallery. We're going to bring in an image from the gallery. All right, so for example, I'm going to use random images. Let me just check Facebook. So I'm going to use maybe random images. For example, if I'm going to design for, let's say, this graduation flyer here. Okay, now let's make it a little bit squared. Okay, let's unlock it so that we can reduce it from here as well. All right, so if I'm going to design for this, for example, hit OK. Now this is what we have, just an example. All right, so this is what we have. So I'm going to rotate it a bit because it seems it's tilted. All right, now if we have this, the first method you can use when you're trying to blend in background, depending on the color you want to use, you can click this, click shape. All right, make sure you watch till the end because I'm kind of like saving the best for the last. All right, and don't jump any point of the video because you are going to miss two. All right, so I'll come to gradient, click gradient. All right, remember I've not unchecked, so it's still there. I've not checked, it's still there. So click gradient, just click plus sign, and then for this gradient we are going to choose linear gradient from top to bottom. I think this is linear, the first one. No, the second one. All right, so the first point, you can click this first point here, you can see it right here. Click the first point, click this color icon, and then let's make it white. All right, just an example, if I'm going to use white background. All right, then you can click the last point and make it transparent. But since if you do it like that, you can just rotate it. All right, let me just do what I just said so that you will not be confused. Click this and then drag this point to this last one, this transparency. Hit OK. Now when you hit OK, you are going to see how it's faded from the top to the bottom. All right, so you can just hit OK and then rotate it from here like this. All right, if you don't want to do it like this, you can make the other point transparent. Okay, let me undo so that you can see. Okay, I'll click edit again. So if you don't want to make it like this, you can make this point, this white point, transparent, and then make this transparent point white. All right, that's how to solve that. Okay, but I'm not going to do that again. Let me check this. I'm not going to do that, so I'll just rotate this. Okay, now I'll expand this, put it here. So what you just need to do, what am I doing? I want to delete it. What you just need to do is just duplicate this until this side is faded. All right, until this side is faded. Can you see? Now this is the first thing to do. Okay, so depending on the color you want to use, you can use this to really work on your background. All right, so you can see how faded it is. All right, you can see how faded it is. That is the first thing you can do to your backgrounds. All right, this is the first method. Now the second method is this. Let me delete all this. All right, I'm going to delete all this. All right, the second method we are going to use, for example, if we have, let me bring in an image from the background. You can download a background to use, right? You can get background maybe from Pinterest. Let me check. Okay, where particular background. Second method is what we are going to use. All right, create this same shape. So go to gradient, add the same gradient, just click the plus sign. So what we're going to do, when you click this first point, we are going to make this first point now transparent, and then we are going to this last point, we are going to make this last point white. All right, so we are going to increase the transparency to 100 as well. So hit OK. Now you can see it's faded, right? So what I'm going to do now is simply to just hit OK, go to texture. For example, if I want to attach another image, go to texture, depending on the image you want to attach. All right, so if I want to maybe attach another kind of background to give it another feel below it, it could be let's say, let me just pick this. All right, let me just pick this, hit OK. Now you can see that it's joined to it and faded with it. All right, it's joined to it and faded with it. Okay, can you see? All right, this is another way to also manipulate your background. You can see how they are joined together. So this image and the other one are joined together, kind of like faded together as well. So if you want to put text to this maybe kind of background, you might still need to add one or two, depending on what you're designing. You can put somebody here, you can put some text. Text will contrast well as well though. Okay, so that is another way to power clipping into this particular gradient shape, is another way to blend your backgrounds together. Now there's another tricky one. All right, let me hide this instead of deleting it because I might use it. I just might use it. There's another tricky one that I found out, all right, when trying to do designs. Okay, now let me bring up this. I think I've used it in most of my tutorials. If you have been watching my tutorials, you would have seen this at one point or the other. All right, especially one of the tutorials I created for Donald Trump. Now if I bring in a transparent image from the background, let's say I think I used that for this particular design. I used that for this particular design. All right, so I'm going to, this is not what I want. Yes, let me just delete it. All right, so if I bring in an image, all right, this can work for background. This can also work for whether you are already making a design. All right, so now let me bring in an image from photo room. All right, let's get a particular image that we are going to use. Okay, let me just get this particular one. All right, let me hit OK. Now for this one here, I want to make the background white. Now for this one we have right here, you can see how it has cut off. Now if I use gradient transparency, like we've been using, like this type, okay, it's a good option. Okay, it's a good option. But what if I don't want to use it? Let me just enlarge this. You can just put it here, since everything is white. Sometimes if everything is not white, you can do that. Now if I use this just to blend it, you have to just put them, you know, strategically to really, this might work as well. Now if you don't want to do that, there's another way you can do that. All right, there's another way you can do that, and that is, let me just hide this instead of deleting, and that is just click this, click stickers. So once you click sticker, just allow it to load. All right, this is the method I've been using. Allow it to load, and you can see it has a white stuff here. All right, so just duplicate this, just duplicate, copy, just so that you don't stress yourself too much. So you will merge two of them. All right, once you merge two of them, hit OK. All right, hit OK, and then you are going to be able to copy and paste it around the edges that you want to block. All right, so you can just copy paste. When you are done with everything, copy and paste. All right, make sure the color also blends with the background. Okay, sometimes if you have another type of, if the color of the background is not plain, you might not as well use this, or you can blend the lower parts of the background with a particular color and then use this particular method to cover the edges of the images that you want to cover out. Okay, you can see how it's blending already. All right, so after I'm done with everything, and the beauty of this is it gives you a level of control. You can see the arc, the way, let me draw. You can see the way it is here. You can see it's covering it like this. All right, you can see it's covering it like this, unlike the other type that is fading it mostly straight up. Okay, this is fading it like this, and this gives you a level of control, and that's why I love using this particular method. Okay, you can as well turn the whole thing to the background. All right, this is an image. I just blended it with the background, and this is one of the ways you can also do that. Okay, one new method I found out, I'm going to share that with you right here. So let me delete all this. Okay, one new method I found out is click this, click shapes, right? Sorry, click stickers instead of shapes. Click stickers, allow it to load like we've done. Okay, so now what if you are supposed to blend in two images together? What if you're supposed to blend in two images together, like the one we have right here on this thumbnail? It's very simple. That's what I'm showing right away. All right, so after you have done that, just click outside. Know that there's a shape here, right? So I'm going to, you can enlarge it a little bit or just leave it. So you can go to texture, and then go to your gallery, pick a particular image, and a pro tip here, like I've told you, pick an image that speaks about what you're going to do. All right, so for me, maybe let's say I'm working on church fly or something. All right, for worship experience, I'll just pick this particular image. All right, pick this particular image. This someone singing, right? So I'm going to hit OK. Now you can see how faded it has become. All right. Okay, now it's blurry. The reason why it's blurry is because of the size we set at first. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete the shape as well. So hit again, stickers. So allow it to load a little bit. Just hit OK, hit it and increase it a little bit. So okay, so what I'm going to do now, let's go to this place, texture, click this, go here, just to that particular place. I'm going to get that particular image back, and then we are going to use it right there. Okay, so hit OK. Now you can see, all right, it's a little bit I think it's a little bit better. All right, this is one way. Now this is one, so I'm going to copy again, put right here. Now for this one, I'm going to blend in another image. So click this, you can delete this, and then pick in another image. This is me right there too with suit, right? So I'm going to reduce this, okay, and place it right here. Okay, place it right here. Now you can see how these images blend together. Let me reduce this a little bit. You can see how these images blend together. Now if I want to change the color of the background, just to come here, change the color of the background to this, and you can see it still blends together. Okay, it still blends together and blends perfectly with the background. All right, so you can blend it further by reducing the opacities of these images. You can reduce the opacity. You can see how it's blending together. All right. That, okay, you can also do that, but you can see it's not showing well. So what you are going to do for this stuff, what you will do is you create a shape and then add that gradient we've created, switch to gradient, add this gradient we've created, hit OK, and on this gradient now we are going to put in, we are going to texture in, let's put it that way, that particular background we're talking about, right? So you can just go down, and I think we talked about which background was that. I think it's below. Right, this was the background I was talking about. So you can just put this in. All right, you might not put everything. It doesn't work with this. And then if I want to do something more to this, you can just go to color filters. If you want to change the color, you can do that from here. Okay, but this is not affecting the image, actually affecting the shape. I think I can relate with that right now. All right, so now I can bring in the same, I think I still have it here, right? All right, take it on top, and then here you can just reduce. That's not what's selected. Select this, reduce the opacity. When you do that, you can reduce the opacity reasonably. All right, just to give it one kind of effect like that. Okay, can you see what we've done? All right, you can reduce the opacity reasonably, and you have your background. So you can bring one background, another background, bring them together, and then you are going to have something to work with. All right, let's choose this. I think we need to bring this in a little bit, and then the last background editing technique I want to show you. All right, let's take this. Where is this? Okay, let's take this. All right, the last editing technique I want to show you for backgrounds is, all right, after knowing how to blend all of these things together, we can save this, right? So save, you can actually save this as an image first. Okay, save as an image. You can use ultra, all right, so that the quality comes out well. After you've saved this as a project, as an image, go to, let it save. It's still rendering, kind of lame because of the quality now. Saved as an image. All right, so I'm going to go to Snapseed. So I'll go to my Snapseed and open that particular image. I think this should be it. All right, you can see this is the image, right? So you can first, maybe you can sharpen it a little bit. Can you see what's happening to it? You can sharpen it a little bit. Okay, that structure. Just sharpen it a little bit. Okay, and then there you can just, for the brightness, you can reduce the brightness, saturation, you can increase the saturation, reduce saturation, and then highlight, you can reduce highlight or increase highlight depending on what you want. All right, can you see even the color is kind of like changing a little bit? Okay, so let's have this. All right, even though that's not the hue, that's not, but you can see that it has changed the color as well. So from here you can increase the grain effects. Okay, it's going to give it another level of touch. Can you see? You can just add a little noise to it, and then after adding noise to it, we can, if you want, you can add grunge. You can see, I think this is, you can pitch with your two hands and increase. Okay, so I think that style is too much. Let's see. That grunge is too much. Texture strength. Let's reduce the texture strength. All right. Let's reduce saturation. Style. So you can change the style. You can even use this to, be changing the style. After you change the style, if you're okay with that, check the strength, texture strength, reduce texture strength, and all of that. So you can just manipulate this to fit what you want. Okay, so for me, I think this is okay. Now after you are done here, you can now take it to Pixellab, and it's just for you to now if you want to put light effect and all of that, maybe that should be after your design. You can just click export, save a copy, and then once you are done with that, I'm going to load this on my Pinterest, all right, as something you can actually work with. All right, so you can now come back to Pixellab. Let's say come back to Pixellab. You can see the difference. The difference is going to be clear. Come back to Pixellab. Just come to default, just because we don't want to actually just from gallery, recent. I think this should be the recent stuff. Hit OK, and you can see the background we've created right here. All right, using this different method. Now if you want to make this down parts a little bit dark, you should know how to do that already. Just choose gradient, pick the gradient we've used here, and just drag it here. You can just make it dark a little bit. It must not be entirely dark. And then you come here, change the color to black or any color you want to blend it with. All right, and this is what we have right here. So you can save this again as an image, and you are going to compare the before and the after. Let's go to the gallery and see. Now if you enjoy this video, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it to other people. All right, you can see what we have here now as our background with Pixellab and Enhancement and Snapseed. This was done with Pixellab entirely, and we worked on it with Snapseed, and here's what we have. Can you see? All right, bye for now. See you in the next video.